Good afternoon. Another matter occurred earlier that I think uh, is something that people should know about. I was riding a transit bus, and there's oftentimes a lot of friendly commenting on the buses, on the bus radio, but occasionally there's different comments. And this time, what happened was a young Mexican American sounding man who got on the radio calmly saying, "What else they did to you overseas? The Marine wrote a novel." But I'm not a Marine. See, the same sneaky scam with a former family started again. So anyway, I think he was on the radio, or he might have been in the bus sound. Anyway, that's what he said. He sounded kind of calm, not kind of calm. He just sounded calm and like of an understanding that something had happened and that there had been rumoring. And what it's about is back in approximately early 1981. When I was living in Orlando and working at Disney World, uh, I had an idea for a novel, and the only reason for the novel was to hopefully make a lot of money. There wasn't any religious reason. There wasn't any, like real life something that I was camouflaging into a script or anything. All it was a novel, but the novel idea was from a detail from some history that I had recently read. And what the history was, I don't remember what the book was or whether I don't remember the detail, except that I had learned some history of Mexico that I hadn't heard of before. That the history of Mexico included a belief that the that ancient Mexico, the Aztec civilization, had a belief that their culture originated somewhere north of them. From the time when they were in the Valley of Mexico, where the capital was Tenochtitlan, and in the lake that was named Texcoco. Well, they said, according to what I had read, that they had a belief that their civilization began somewhere north of the Valley of Mexico, that their ancient ancestors had migrated, and that would be found or symbolized in some way by a place that would include seven caves, a cactus, and whatever, and maybe an eagle or something like that. I don't know. But that they were of an origin that was termed the Seven Caves. Well, I don't remember any of those actual details, but excuse me, I'm having a little bit of problem with my throat. But anyway, I thought it was kind of interesting that, well, wouldn't it be something if there had been an ancient civilization in the caves and maybe in the American Southwest somewhere? And then I was thinking during the time of Cortez, when the Spaniards first arrived to Mexico, one of their objectives, of course, had been to find treasure and to finance themselves, because the king was searching for wealth. And I thought of an idea. Well, wouldn't it be interesting if it turned out to be that there was a remnant of an ancient civilization in southern Colorado, and that it was found by some prospectors looking for gold, but instead of finding like a stream that led to a load of gold in the mountains, that they instead found something of a civilization and started to find some coins of an ancient civilization that they hadn't seen before. So anyway, the idea became I had read some instructions about writing a novel. It was going to be a first effort. That in order for a novel to sell, there has to be action. There has to be a lot of action. There has to be romance. And the instructions that I read included that there would have to be obscenity, but I decided to omit the obscenities. But I decided, yeah, the idea of action, that I'm going to try to write an action novel that maybe will become a movie. All right, so the entire idea for the novel was simply to write an action novel, fiction, with the intent of making money, making enough money so I'd have everything that I need, and that I wouldn't have to be going around finding, to dead end. So some of the jobs that I had, I didn't like. So I decided I'm going to start writing a novel, and that it was going to be set during the Civil War time, and that there was going to be prospecting for gold in a mountain. In reality, I didn't know if there was any gold in it or not. Named Conejos Peak in southern Colorado, and that in the beginning of the Civil War, the particular location was partly occupied by a garrison of Union soldiers, but some of them decided to be Confederates instead, and decided to turn the secrets of the location of the discovery of the caves to the Confederates instead. So the action was that there was a strife between the beginning of a Union position that became Confederate, and then they discovered the ancient fictional civilization in the caves. But anyway, there is some there ended up being some theft of the manuscript and a lot of conjuring about it. And I'm going to detail a little bit more about that soon. But I just wanted to, in this, to start with, I just wanted to emphasize that the Treasure of the Seven Caves was really a fiction. There wasn't anything, it wasn't a matter of anything from the past, religiously or historically, other than loosely adapted to the period in time. Like the action is set during the time of 1861, but it was all fictionally done. I don't know that there was ever any action about Conejos Peak. I don't know if there's any caves. I don't know if there was any, and I certainly wouldn't know if there was any kind of civilization. And it was all just action to hopefully get a lot of readers and maybe become a screenplay. So any rumoring about the novel, there's really a lot of rumoring. Partly what happened is when I mostly finished, although it still needed a lot of editing, that the first complete handwritten manuscript was stolen during a move from Holmes Beach to Bradenton in summer of 1985. I still don't know what happened to the manuscript. It was written on notebook paper, legal paper, writing paper, and somewhere along the line it somehow got stolen, as did typed later manuscripts. Mostly, I think the culprit is my mother and stepfather, and any conjuring about it. Like I say again, I want to emphasize it was only fiction, and that there had about the formulation of the novel, there hadn't been any intent to insult the history of Mexico, Mexican people, and there's also characters of the novel that were set during the 1860s that were Mexicans, and those characters are treated fairly and respectfully. And had I known how a novel could be stolen and conjured about, I'd have been a little bit more careful about some details. For example, instead of actually referring to the civilization as Aztec, that since it was a fiction, then I would have titled a little bit differently with a fictional name. But there wasn't any intent of insulting or conjuring or predicting anything in the novel. There wasn't anything of any religious prediction. There wasn't any prophesying or anything. And there was some, kind of, creation about matters of fictional. So anyway, I'm going to quit now. I've already spoken too much about the particular subject, but I just wanted to say that first of all, like I said, I wasn't starting an argument about everything pertaining to some gays that manipulated themselves into the Marine Corps and whatever, and always sneak in the sounds and defame against the service by always sneaking themselves with the Love Family operation. I've never encountered any of them, but they like to interrupt me all the time, and they're always secret. And I really believe that they should be arrested. The Treasure of the Seven Caves novel was only a novel, and all I authorize of it is that the manuscript be good for investigation to compare to how others might have conjured in real life. So anyway, continuing for peace. Hopefully, good people in Mexico are safe also, and that the border is regulated properly for the United States being the United States. Mexico being Mexico and everyone being treated fairly. Have a good day.